The day my world fell apart started like any other. I woke up early, feeling the warmth of the southern sun peeking through the blinds of our beautiful home. I stretched my arms, yawned, and swung my legs over the side of the bed. Chen was still asleep, his chest rising and falling with each gentle breath. I smiled, feeling a sense of comfort and love. Or so I thought. It was my 28th birthday, and I had plans to meet Chen for brunch later. I had been looking forward to it all week, but as I got dressed and headed to the kitchen to start my day, I could not shake off the feeling that something was off. Chen had been acting strange lately, always on his phone or taking calls in another room, speaking quietly. I had brushed it off as stress from work, but now I was not so sure. As I poured myself a cup of coffee, I noticed Chen's jacket hanging on the back of the chair. Something caught my eye, a crumpled piece of paper sticking out of the pocket. I walked over to grab it and my heart sank. It was a hotel receipt from the Hampton Inn on the outskirts of town. The date on the receipt was last night. I felt a knot in my stomach. Why was he at a hotel? He had told me he was working late at the office. I tried to push the thought away, telling myself I was being paranoid. But as I looked at the receipt again, I saw the name on it. Mr. Chen. My mind started racing. Who was he with? And why was he lying to me? I took a deep breath and tried to calm down. Maybe he had a meeting or something. But as I looked around the kitchen, I saw all the little things that had been bothering me lately. The way he would get defensive whenever I asked about his day. The way he had stopped being interested in intimacy with me. It was like he was pulling away, and I had been ignoring the signs. I thought back to when his ex-girlfriend Rachel moved back to town. Chen had been distant then too. He would blame his behavior on stress from work or family, and I had believed him. But now, I was not so sure. Had he rekindled something with her? The more I thought about it, the more my mind was filled with questions and doubts. I felt like I was walking on eggshells, never knowing what was real and what was a lie. And then, I remembered the phone call he had taken in another room last week. He had told me it was just his brother, but something about it did not feel right. As I stood there, trying to make sense of it all, I realized that I had been living in a state of denial. I had ignored the red flags, made excuses for him, and convinced myself that everything was fine. But it was not fine. Something was very wrong. I took another deep breath and decided to confront him. I walked over to the bed and shook him awake. Chen, we need to talk, I said, trying to keep my voice steady. He rubbed his eyes and sat up, looking at me with a mixture of confusion and concern. What's wrong? He asked. I held up the receipt. What's this? He looked at it, and for a moment, I saw a flash of guilt in his eyes. But then his expression changed, and he smiled. Oh, I had a meeting with a client. Yeah, that's it. I studied his face, searching for the truth, but all I saw was a web of lies. And in that moment, I knew that my world was about to come crashing down. Chen, I know you are lying to me, I said, my voice shaking. I do not know what's going on, but I know you are hiding something from me. He reached out to me, but I pulled away. Don't touch me, I said, my heart racing. Tell me the truth. He sighed and rubbed his temples. Okay, fine, I'll tell you, but you have to promise not to overreact. I laughed, a bitter sound. You think I can promise that? You think I can just sit here and listen to your lies and be okay with it? He looked at me, and for a moment, I saw a glimmer of the man I thought I knew. But then, it was gone, replaced by a cold, calculating gaze. And in that moment, I knew that everything was about to change.